Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another portable monitor, a USB-C or HDMI external monitor, but this one is a little different, a little unique. Currently available over on Indiegogo, this is called the Magedok, and there are three different versions of it available, a 13-inch, 15-inch, and 17-inch. But the really cool thing about these monitors, not only are they external portable monitors, not just something you'd set up on a desk and leave there forever, and not only do a couple of the three have touch options available, but they also have the option to have much higher resolution than the other ones I've looked at in the past. 1080p is the highest I've looked at before. The one that I have in front of me today is 2K. It's 2560 by 1440. Not only that, again, this is a 120 hertz, 17.3 inch 2K portable gaming monitor. Let's dig into it and take a look at it and plug it up to a bunch of things that I have sitting on the couch next to me. Now, as I was mentioning, these are available over on Indiegogo. The price starts at, I think, $169, super early bird pricing, and there's like 45 of them left. For the 13-inch model, there's a 13-inch external monitor you can USB-C plug into your laptop. That's awesome. But they go up as high as like $300 for the 15-inch one, but then the 17-inch one's like $279 starting. It's a bigger monitor, it's a higher resolution. Of course, the 15-inch, it is a 1080p monitor, but it has a 144 hertz refresh rate with 5 millisecond response time. Anyway, there's a lot of things to talk about. I'll just put a graph up on the screen so you can see all of the specs of all of the things. There you go. What's in the box? Get the foam out of here. So we have an HDMI to mini HDMI, not micro, so it is full size to the smaller option. A USB-C to USB-C cable, some Velcro in case you want to strap things together, some very small Phillips head screws, a USB-C to the older style USB cable, and the monitor itself. And actually it mentions on the Indiegogo campaign it's supposed to also come with a stand and a USB-C hub and a guide. I'm not seeing those items in here, but for my usage this is going to be fine. There we go. That is a significant external monitor. Open this up. It does have this protective foam around it for shipping. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like it actually comes with a Visa mount on the back. That's presumably what these screws are for. So if you wanted to, you could put it on a stand at your desk and just keep it there, but you don't have to. It does have, if you can see them there, dual speakers on the back. Then this is the included stand for this one. It's a folio case of sorts, and as you might be able to tell over here, this is kind of shiny. I think this peels off and then it sticks to the back, but only sticks up at the top so that you can kind of origami fold it. And since I don't have another option at the moment, I don't have a Visa mount stand available or anything, I'm gonna try to go ahead and peel this off and get it stuck to the back. Just to be completely forthright here, I'm not a huge fan of this option. It feels like something I will very easily mess up, especially when I can't get this to peel off. Need one of those SpongeBob 2 hours later. Okay, this is significant. Maybe I'm not so concerned about how this will stick to the back of it. Ooh. Definitely not in as good a shape as I used to be, but this is taking some effort. Whew. And the adhesive has a little bit of a smell to it. Let's see if I can get this lined up appropriately and stuck on. That feels about right, and it looks like the speakers are lined up correctly with the holes now, so I'm just gonna put some pressure on it. And actually, I may flip it on over, but before I do, you can see here, Magedok branding on the back. It has kind of a carbon fiber look to this cover. And I may have been slightly imperfect with my placement, but it's a little bit farther along this way. I think it will do just fine though, and it's pretty thoroughly on there already. I could pull it off if I really tried, but I'm not gonna try. But anyway, this is how it's going to stand. So now that I have this attached, it has a fold right here I didn't notice before. 3 little points of access where you can stand it up, and it's kind of catching on those. I mean, if you touch it, it's gonna slide to the next one. I mean, even then, without having one, it's kind of staying in place, so that's not bad. Just realized I'm gonna have a really hard time showing you what I'm displaying, so I'll probably end up laying this back down, just flipping it over completely like that. So here is the monitor. You can see it does have that Magedok brand, the logo on the front, has kind of a brushed metal finish. Then on the right-hand side, you've got a power button, you've got a rocker switch, a thing that says HP, presumably meaning headphones, because this does support headphones. The other side, you have a USB-C charging port, a USB-C output, and a micro HDMI output, and that's about all there is to it. So actually, I think the next thing to do is to start hooking this into other devices. 1, see if it can be powered straight over USB, and 2, see how it looks and how it works and how maybe the audio sounds from the speakers when plugged into various other devices. Let's try them out. So here's the included USB cable. It's a little bit stiff. I'm gonna plug it into the middle USB-C port here. And since it's right here beside me, the tablet that I had the information pulled up on, this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e. It's USB-C. Let's see if it does anything when I plug this in. It says start Samsung DeX. Your tablet's connected to an external display. Now you're ready for the full desktop experience. Okay. Oh, and that's interesting. It's definitely flickering and it's not very bright. It's very dim. Let me turn the brightness up if I can. That's interesting. The Galaxy Tab just gave a warning about moisture in the USB port. So maybe there's a little dampness on this cable. I think I'll move on to another device. Sticking in the same vein, let's try it with the Galaxy S10. Just plug directly in. It's not really working off the S10 either. It actually says make sure HDMI is plugged in properly. And I've tried reversing the cable with no success so far. So I may have to put an external power adapter on this. No luck so far. All right, I've plugged the USB-C cable into the side to see if I can get some power. The Galaxy S10 now shows HDMI connected, and then the phone resets itself. Great. Switch back over to the Tab S5e. Well, now it actually says that it's charging. That's nice. Oh, and I can see things from the tablet on the screen, although it's not in DeX mode. Let me see if I can make the screen brighter. Yeah. So if I turn this up, there we go. Now you can kind of see it. I've got it about 50, a little over 50%, and I've just pushed in on the button here on the side to go through the menus. So I can go down and change the black level, the contrast. Unfortunately, it's at an angle where I can't really see anything. I'll kind of angle it like this. There's an eco mode that I can turn from standard to game to the screen just went off. A little while later, we're back. I have tested this monitor with a bunch of different things at this point. Not everything, but a bunch of things. This one probably seems obvious. I think I even mentioned it during the initial video. This is the Samsung Galaxy View 2. Tried it with USB-C into this monitor. Didn't do anything. Again, it was not unexpected, but that would have been pretty cool, right? But I guess that wouldn't have been terribly useful anyway. 17-inch display going into a 17-inch display, just duplicating it. I'm not sure how big of a use that would be. I did a little bit of testing with the Galaxy Tab S5e. When you do have a USB-C cable plugged in to a power supply with the appropriate amount of power, I think I just didn't have enough power before. You can probably see now I can see the tablet screen and still control it from over here. There's not really that much of a delay between the two, which is nice. I can even hit Samsung DeX, and eventually it will come up like that. And I paired up a Bluetooth mouse with the tablet. As you can probably see, I can move the mouse around. I can interact with different apps. So that would be a very usable option. If I can get it to work appropriately with my Galaxy S10, that would be even more useful. But keep in mind, the 17-inch version is not a touchscreen, so I can't do anything to it like this. But it does work with Samsung DeX if you have a DeX-capable device. I tried it briefly with the Planet Gemini, this little PDA pocket computer that I made a video about a few months back. I probably need to do a follow-up video on this, but I tried it with both the USB-C ports, and just nothing happened, no signal. Unfortunate, but again, not entirely unexpected. That would be kind of cool though, to be able to hook this thing up over HDMI, type away on the teeny tiny little thing. When you're ready to go, you unplug it and you have everything in the palm of your hand. Could be useful. In slightly more fun options, Nintendo Switch. This is one of the things they mention on their page. Just plug in USB-C. The screen comes on here, and hopefully in just a second, yeah, the screen of the Switch went dark. This screen should come on, and there you can see it. Then if I pull my Joy-Cons out, you can probably even see it up here in the corner, hopefully. It's charging the Switch. So I can now control this, I can play games. Really hard to see at this angle. As with most displays, if you get at a very low angle to it, you're not gonna be able to see it. And I don't have an over-the-shoulder camera or anything. Maybe I can look at what I'm doing overhead. But if I open up Super Smash, I can be playing, charging my Switch, and have a very decent-sized display without having to have a full dedicated TV. For being on the go, this would be absolutely awesome. One power adapter and USB-C cable going to this other USB-C cable to the device, and of course the screen here in the middle. And there it is. And actually it's playing the audio from it out the back of the screen. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I'm not gonna try to play from this angle because again, I can't really see the screen, but it would work. It would work really well. And having the very high refresh rate that it does, it would work really, really well if the device supports it. I'll try hooking it up to a Windows laptop, my Alienware laptop. Let's see. Yeah, it took a little bit of time there, but it did come up. And unlike the phones and everything, as you can see here, I do have the option in Windows to go change my display. So I can say extend these displays, keep the changes. Now on my second monitor, I have to actually drag this over so you can see it. It is showing 2560 by 1440. I can make changes to it. all the fun stuff you can do in Windows while having two displays. So that works really well, as you would probably expect. And I could do the same thing with HDMI if I were so inclined, but USB-C I think will work just fine for this. And for a bit of a quick test, as you can see, I have it hooked up to my iMac. I definitely need to think about investing in a VESA mount, a stand of some kind to put it up on if I want to have it side by side here, but that would make it less portable. But I've got one single USB-C cable hooking it up, just providing power and data and everything from the iMac to the monitor. And you can probably see here I've got Final Cut Pro pulled up on one screen. I can drag it over to the other screen. No issues there. I've been able to watch videos on it, do work on it, use it as just a secondary monitor as you would expect, except for two relatively minor things. I think I did mention it earlier. Whenever the power is unplugged from that monitor in any way, if it turns off in any way, when it comes back up, the settings are not saved. So you will have to change the things that you change again. In my case, I have gone through and set the DCR, which is kind of like an auto brightness feature, which makes it as bright and as vibrant as my other monitor. But anytime the monitor gets turned off, whenever it comes back up, it goes back to having that turned off and the brightness set all the way back to 0. So a little bit of a bummer there. The other thing, which seems to have sort of worked itself out, is whenever I would turn my screen off, I've got a hot corner where I can move my mouse down there and everything shuts down. I was having this problem up until about 10 minutes ago. As you can probably see, after a few seconds, the USB-C monitor, the Magedok, goes into a no signal mode. And after another 30 seconds to a minute, something like that, it will turn off entirely. Up until a few minutes ago, whenever I would turn the Mac back on, whenever I would wake the computer back up, the second monitor would not come back up for any reason. I think it will now. So there we go. Main screen came up. And as you can see, the secondary came up right along with it, but it's also really, really dim. So I do have to come back over here, go into the menus, and turn the DCR back on. Then it gets just as bright as it was before. So it's still very much getting the job done. And I did go ahead and reach out to Magedok and ask them the same kind of questions. Why isn't it saving the settings and why won't it wake up? They told me to try pushing the power button to make sure that it would wake up, and after messing with it again, it is coming back up now appropriately. As far as saving the settings between sessions, they said that they would forward that along to their engineering team, so maybe that's something that will be in a final model. Also, quick note there, you might notice the logo's now on top. I do have it flipped over, and I've got it flipped 180. That doesn't affect it in the slightest. I tried it all the ways. But the USB-C ports being on this side means that it's just easier to connect to my Mac this way, rather than putting it on the other side of the desk. Just a convenience thing for me. And there are lots and lots more things that I could definitely test this with. This is just a very quick initial impressions of it to let you know what's out there, what's available. In the little amount of time I've spent with it, the screen looks pretty good. The viewing angles leave a little to be desired, but it's a very thin, reasonably lightweight device. Feels like it has very solid construction. The button here on the side, it could stand like a rubber cap over it or something, because when you push on it, after pushing it 15 or 20 times, it starts to actually get sore on your finger. I'm definitely a big fan of a monitor that will work with just one USB-C cable, and it's a 17-inch 2K display that can work with one USB-C cable. That is awesome. So for early impressions, I'm definitely impressed with it, but I think that's where I'll wrap this video up for today. Their Indiegogo campaign is going on for another almost 3 weeks, maybe a little bit less by the time you see this video, maybe over by the time you see this video. Check the link down in the description if you want to get more information about it. I love that there are 3 sizes available. I love that there's a touch option available. A little sad that it's not available for the 17-inch model, but again, I probably would not use it. One of the other portable monitors I've got has touchscreen on it. I don't really use it, but it is nice that it's an option on the 15-inch and the 13-inch models. The resolution, the refresh rate, the response rate, really impressive out of something of this thinness and realistically the price range. Let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. I haven't done a whole lot of research on portable gaming monitors. This is the first one I've seen. So thanks so much to the people over at Magedok for sending this out for me to take a look at. They did not pay me to make this video. They just sent me the product for free to take a look at. Thanks to you guys for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel to get notified when new ones come out. And I'll see you again next time.